What's up? What's up? This is Ash, your neighborhood ninja, and I'm here with my boy Manny Fresh and KFT.
Yay.
What up? What up? Cool.
We got a special guest, super fresh guest. I don't even know what to say. If you know me, you know I love this man, and I've always looked up to him. With that being said, this man needs no introduction. With a tear in my eye, Shaggy, too dope.
Whoop,
Too
whoop.
dope.
What's
Hey
up, man?
man, hey,
Hey.
thanks for that sweet ass intro. That was heartwarming and heartfelt, and that was awesome. Thank you, man.
No shit. Thank you for being on
Hell
here.
yeah.
I got like 23 years of questions, but unfortunately we can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
I know, man. I was telling Manny, I was like, man, it's too bad you guys' podcast ain't longer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But hey, well, you know what I'm saying? You guys are working for it. Perhaps hour or two special one day. You know?
Definitely. That would be the shit.
Hell yeah.
No,
All
all
right,
right.
well, I'd like to spit this one first, if it's cool with you, Ash.
Yeah, go for it, man.
All right, well, first things first with Shaq's 2 Dose on the track.
Yes.
Congratulations on that podcast, man.
Oh,
I
thanks,
don't know
man.
if it was your first episode, the one with the marathon,
Oh, well,
but if it,
oh yeah.
I don't know if that was your first one, but it's the first one I caught.
Yeah,
You know
those
what I
very
mean?
first ones. Yeah, so that's dope. Hell yeah.
And holy shit, like, I ain't gonna lie, I was sitting there like, man, what's Shaggy gonna do here that's gonna catch me now? And afterwards, I was just all in love again. I was like, damn, that shit was great. My brother hit me up. Did you watch that shit? And all that. And I was like, man, that was good. So,
Yeah,
man, I think that's dope.
we
Oh,
actually
go
just
ahead,
dropped
my
the
bad.
vlog today too. We just dropped the vlog today. It's a revenge vlog, revenge challenge vlog. So yeah, I went into this reptile place. Dude's name is Brian. Shit, what's his last name? Do you remember, Manny?
No, I don't remember, man.
Brian.
I know he was
Something
mad
check.
cool.
Brian something check or whatever the fuck. But it's called the Reptitarium or whatever the fuck. And I laid down. They had spiders crawling across my face and all that stuff. Tarantulas, not just spiders. But yeah, so you can peep that. That's out right now on YouTube, so you can check that out.
I just watched it.
Hell,
Oh, you said you just watched it?
You know that one when it crawls to the back of your head?
Oh yeah, I know.
I would have reacted just like that, how you did.
Say what?
I would have reacted just like you did. Fuck all that. I was like, how's this dude doing this shit? Fuck that.
Man, hey, I'm a man of my word. So I said I'd do it. I didn't want to do it,
Right.
you know, but I had to.
Yeah, fuck that. Cause when you curled up when you're like your hands and shit, that was the last one, wasn't it?
No, that was that big
No, I
second
think
boy. Yeah.
Fuck that
yeah,
shit.
I
yeah.
don't know. They're all freaky as shit.
And then the cockroaches and shit. You're all, you thought they were gonna go in your ear or what?
I don't know, man. Hey, I remember that. You remember Star Trek Wrath of Khan back in the day when he puts that motherfucking bug in his ear? Since I was a little kid, that's terrified me. So I'm always scared bugs are gonna go in my ear, and earwigs are named earwigs, you know. So what the
Right.
fuck? I don't know if they go in your ear or not, but fuck all that. I ain't trying to know bugs lay some eggs in my ears.
Yeah, you kept screaming
That's
that
like my
shit out,
biggest
man.
fear with bugs. Is they're gonna lay some shit up in my ears and my skin or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You see people with worms coming out their skin? It's the worst thing ever, man. Oh,
Oh yeah,
man,
fuck that.
when you watch that Monsters Inside Me and you see, like, fucking cases of motherfuckers that lay down to go
horrible.
to sleep in the jungle and they wake
Yeah,
up and there's worms buried in their backs
No,
and shit. Like,
that's what
hell
I'm
no.
saying, man.
no,
That's what
fuck
I
all
ain't trying
that.
to have that shit growing out of my fucking ears and ass and wherever they lay eggs.
Or they eat a raw crawdad and shit and they start building some in their stomach. And, oh,
Yeah,
no.
yeah,
I stopped watching that shit because of that.
yeah, no doubt. You know, what do you need to see all that? Or those fucking things in the river to be climbing up your dick hole?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Fuck that one.
Yeah, and then oh boy, he knew what the fuck those were. He was like, "Oh, you talking about the whatever they were?" You
Yeah.
know, we were like, "Damn, but
I
it was
remember I was
fun
at
though."
work. I remember I was at work one time and there was this homeboy on break on a computer and he was like, hey man, have you ever seen like the worms you get in your body and shit? And I was like, nah, he's like, they're real worms. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he like moves the screen over and he shows me like this fucking video of this worm coming out of somebody's ass. And I was like, bro,
What
I
the
don't need to see
fuck?
that shit.
Man,
Like,
here goes the
god
thing about all
damn.
that shit though. I mean, if you want to look, you're gonna fuck yourself up. Like you look at that microscopic shit that's on your eyelashes. You know what I'm saying? Like you got like
Uh,
these crust bugs that be living on your eyelashes. It's fucking You don't want to look. I'm telling you, man. Don't investigate because you be like fucking one of those germ freaks scrubbing your face 20 times a day.
And that motherfucker was one of them. That dude wouldn't open a doorknob without using his shirt and shit. So we ended
Hey,
up putting paint on a doorknob and had him do that shit and fucked his shirt up.
oh man,
That's fucked up.
That's what friends are for.
Huh?
there you
Yep.
go.
No, but you know what,
There you go.
Shaggy? I found a new respect for you, bro. Straight the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? The shit that you did with the Bulls.
Oh yeah, with them Bulls, yeah. That you want to know what, man?
What's up?
I was that them Bulls were more scary than any of those fucking bugs.
Of
Because
course.
with those bugs, I knew it was gonna suck, but I didn't feel like my life was threatened. Or I didn't feel like I was gonna end up in the hospital with them Bulls. Holy shit! And the whole thing with them Bulls is we didn't go there knowing we was gonna do that. We thought we were gonna go there. I don't know what the fuck we thought we were gonna do, but it wasn't that, you know.
Right.
And but once we got there, they had set the whole thing up for us and everything. And so we couldn't be bitches, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
they came out, set all that shit up. I didn't even know how much it costed them, nothing, you know. So we couldn't be like, we're scared, fuck that, you know. So but I was ready to do the last bull, but they told me I couldn't, you know what I'm saying? And I was very happy
Fuck
they
that.
didn't let me because man, I probably would have been in the hospital after that, boy. But yeah, it was. I mean, not it's very terrifying at the minute, but now that I look back, it's like, yo, I could say I fucking battled the bull. Holy shit!
Yeah, a couple of them, huh?
Even the small boys were huge.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Exactly. I mean, shit. I was like, damn, man. I couldn't believe it, man. When I was watching it, I was just like, what the fuck, man? And then it just kept getting bigger and bigger. I was like, oh shit.
And these motherfuckers will laugh at you when you get ran over. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
funny.
I saw that. I
Yeah.
saw that,
And here
man.
goes the hook. Here goes the hook, man. We had another follow up vlog that we didn't air exactly like we were gonna. We didn't air it like we had wanted to because with that vlog with those bulls, it was just enough people crying about like oh, it's bullshit, bullfighting, crybabies about that, the animal shit, you know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah,
Which is
yeah.
whatever. I understand. I love animals too, but you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. I'm not out there fucking stabbing bulls
Right.
in the fucking neck with a fucking knife. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm
Yeah.
saying though, but it was just enough to where like we didn't want to like air what we had also did because when we were there, we also like worked on a ranch like as a ranch hands. So we helped
Oh
process
wow.
these bulls, like getting their heads licking those fucking machines and vaccinating them and putting the rubber bands around their nuts and like so
Oh
and
shit.
fixing them or whatever the fuck it's called, and doing all that shit with them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But we didn't want to put out all that we did because I mean, once we looked at it, it did look kind of brutal, but that's just how the fuck that shit happens. You know what I'm saying? There's no other way to do it. So it's like, but it's really not brutal. You know what I'm saying? But it looks brutal. Well, whatever the fuck. But enough people cried about the fucking bull thing where it's just like, all right, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whatever. But we used a lot of this shit. We just didn't use the actual cook. Man, it was horrifying. Some of that stuff. Like I put a needle in this cow's neck to vaccinate it,
Fuck
and you got
that.
to pinch the
Ooh,
skin up.
damn.
You got to pinch the skin
Yeah.
up to get the needle in. So when I pinch the skin up, I put the needle in there, and I put the plunger boy down.
Mm-hmm.
I just see the fucking liquid squirt all over the cow's neck. I'm like, what
What
the
the
fuck?
fuck?
And I look, and I pop the fucking needle through both layers of the skin that I pinched out. It was just squirting all over the fucking cow's head and shit. You know what I'm saying? You just can't show shit like that on YouTube
Yeah.
and not have PETA come after your ass,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Oh,
you
them
know what I'm
bulls,
saying? Maybe one day we'll
them
see that
bulls,
shit,
them bulls took it personal. Then that's why when they ran out there, they knew you already.
They're like, come here,
You know what the thing
motherfucker.
was though? We did that shit. I had to wake up at like 6. That shit like that was summertime. You know what I'm saying? And so it got dark late out. So fucking with these bulls. By the time I got to bed, it was like midnight. I've been ran over by like 5, 6 bulls, and then we had to be up at like 5:36 in the morning to go fucking trap bulls' heads in fucking cages and vaccinate them and stuff. Man, I was
Damn.
sore as shit that next day. And then, but it was still fun though, man. All that. And like, I want to go back and do this shit again because it's fun doing it for one day. I couldn't imagine doing it for a living. It's hard fucking work, man. Really hard work. But it was awesome being able to experience that shit for one day, though.
No, that is the shit, but
And
you gotta be careful,
and if
man.
you're not used to it, even a fucking cow can be scary coming up to you.
Are you guys used to fucking with cows? Holy shit, they're huge, man.
Yes and no.
That's what I'm saying. Like you be in a car or these little fucking things they drive through the woods called like side by sides or whatever the fuck they're called, and these cows would just be like running next to you. You're just like, these motherfuckers are like big as like fucking small cars, you know, like the little
Right.
smart cars back in the day. You're like, this motherfucker wanted to kill me right now. I couldn't even outrun his ass. You
No.
think a cow's slow? Fuck no, it's keeping up with a car. You
Holy
know what I'm
shit.
saying? You get fucked up by a cow, man.
Yeah.
Watch some nature footage of cow. YouTube cows fucking people up. You probably sit there and laugh for an hour watching people get fucked up by cows.
Well, have you seen
That's
what
what I'm gonna
happens when
look at.
they
I'm going
wreck
with
into
this.
a cow?
You almost did what?
Have you seen what happens when they wreck into a cow? Their truck gets
I
fucked up,
imagine
bro.
it probably fucked their car up. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
hitting a deer. It'll wreck your shit.
I almost hit one on a highway. I barely caught it. It was a night. I was driving back home, and I barely caught it. I looked down, and I was like, what the fuck is that? And when I got closer, it was a fucking cow, and I barely moved out of the way, and he took my side mirror. Other than that, if I wasn't paying attention, that thing would have fucked me up.
No, me and Manny saw a fucking deer.
Yeah.
It was just standing on the side of the road, and I thought it was taking a shit. This was like mad late at night. We did a ICP Patreon stream, and I think it was like 1 or 2 in the morning, in the middle of the fucking country. We're coming home, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we see a deer standing next to the road, and I thought it was taking a shit because it had a long thing hanging out of its ass. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, I ain't never seen a deer standing next to the fucking road taking a shit, dog. Look at that shit. And he was like, whoa, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So then we get back to the crib, and then whatever the next day I'm telling my wife about it and all that. My wife is a nurse, and she's like, it sounds like it's whatever the fuck technical term was, its asshole was distended or whatever. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, she was like, yeah, it was probably like dying or something. I'm like, oh, get the fuck, you just made it whack. And then sure enough, a couple days later, fucking me and Matt, like I'm starting to think about it now, and I'm like, wait a second, man, deers, they got that little ball shit. This was like a fucking long boy hanging out of its ass. You know what I'm saying? So I know, like now I'm thinking, damn, it probably was its fucking intestines hanging out. So then, like a couple nights later, we had another stream, and on the way back, same exact spot, right where that fucking deer was standing up taking a shit, it was now laying down dead.
What
And we
the
were like,
fuck?
oh, fuck,
Damn.
you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I was all excited. I've never seen no deer take a shit. Have you? I haven't. You know what I'm saying?
A deadly
Like I was
shit.
watching him die.
Before
Yeah,
we're watching
man,
this guy,
we didn't-
he was on the side of the road asking us for help, and we're laughing at. Look at that deer taking a shit. He's like, call a vet,
I mean, 'cause that's what
motherfucker, call a vet.
yeah, that's what it looked like, man. It was all hunched over, and
Yeah,
you know
like
what I'm
his
saying?
back
Like
like a
seriously,
dog.
bro.
Because
Yeah,
his back
like a
was
dog.
broken. And now
And
we know
were
because his
just
back
like,
was broken. And
we were like,
Chuck
somebody
just
took that
fucking hit it.
motherfucker before us. Yeah, man. We didn't know at the time. You know what I'm saying? They can't blame us for being, you
Yo,
know,
put
for
it
what
this
we
way,
were
man.
thinking.
It was like fucking shocking enough that I'm still talking about this shit like over a year later. You know what I'm saying? And I can't tell you shit from a year ago, but I could tell you all about that. I was a couple years from now, I'll be telling you about
deer.
that. Right, man. The deer taking a shit wasn't shitting at all. It was shitting its soul out.
It was shitting its soul out.
It was on.
Oh man, yeah. I hope at least it was high as shit like Elvis. Oh, they got some deer drugs up in those woods or something. Hopefully he was fucked up so he didn't feel his asshole hanging out.
But you know what else I want to tell you, Shaggy? That
What
you're
up?
like what, like 20 years ahead of your time, man. Like, cause you were a YouTuber when YouTube wasn't even around. You know what I'm saying, with the Shaggy Show.
I I never thought of that until like I started fucking around with YouTube now,
Right.
and now I'm starting to like really realize that because it's crazy, like with this whole vlogging shit. Like this time around, last couple of years, how different it is from when I used to do it back in the day. So I never even made the connection there. You know what I'm saying? Because back in the day, it'd just be on the road, and it'd be like backstage, like road footage and this and that. And
Right.
it was done on a video camera that you put a videotape in. You know what I'm saying? One of
Yeah.
those big motherfuckers back in the
yeah.
day. And
Hell yeah.
and then I'd be on the back of the bus with that thing running through a VCR to the TV so I could edit, you know what I'm saying, onto a blank cassette in the VCR. So I played off the fucking big ass video camera, and I just be hitting play on that, and I hit like record on the other one and pause it, you know what I'm saying, set up my next shot. But it was long and shitty when I look at it now, but it was cool then, you know what I'm saying? It was awesome. And then I'd send those motherfuckers home, and I don't know how they put them up on our website.
Right.
but they do it somehow, and it looked super shitty and take 10 years to download.
Yeah, I
But
remember that shit.
that's crazy that that's what the fuck it was. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
this time around, it's almost like coming natural to me. And the crazy part is this, because Ouija Mac, our guy on psychopathic, he was trying to put me up on this type of shit a couple of years, like about 3-4 years ago, something like that. And he was showing me these videos of himself, just like going through these buildings, abandoned buildings and shit. And I'm like, so what am I watching? You know what I'm saying? He's like, it's a vlog. I was like, well, I don't understand. What the fuck is this?
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like him and a couple of his homies and shit going like through some abandoned building and just cracking jokes and whatnot. I was like, I mean, it's cool, but it's long, and you know what I'm saying? I thought it was kind of corny. But the thing is it wasn't a good vlog is the problem, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I
Yeah.
didn't understand it. So I was never watching like no Jake Pauls or no vlogs because I didn't know what the fuck they were. I wasn't into computers. And then so when Keegan had approached me about the idea,
Right.
um I was like because I was like I seen that shit Ouija was doing. I'm just not really with doing that, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, well, what would you think like you want to do? And I was like, I don't know, maybe like some old Shaggy Show shit, but I really don't know, because the reason why I stopped doing that is I was running dry on ideas, because that was like a one man thought show. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have nobody helping me with that shit. So now it's a lot different because got a lot of fucking minds on this, like all different ideas and shit. You know what I'm saying? But so like when we first had did it, the first one we did was when we were on the side of the freeway collecting trash, and I came up with that. And I don't know, we just came over and we were just like, they just came over like, all right, what are we gonna film? And I was like, I don't know. What do you guys think about going and just getting trash off the freeway? And then we talked about it, and the idea formed as we talked about it more into like, making it into like a competition type deal. But we didn't know what the fuck we were doing. You know what I'm saying? And I was interested in doing vlogs, but I didn't know what podcasts were. I didn't know what Twitch was. So I got into the whole thing to start vlogging. You know what I'm saying? Because I loved doing it back in the day, and I love doing it now. And the podcast game and the Twitch game are just kind of thrown in with that. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like part of that game. So it's like you got to tackle all them shits, to just get that whole YouTube and Twitch format covered. It's fucking crazy, man. It's very time consuming, but the dope part about the time consuming part is it's not that bad because I can do it straight from my fucking house. You know what I'm saying?
Straight up. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
So it's not that
And
bad.
those Shaggy shows at the time when you would drop them, man, they meant so much to us because it gave us inside view in what else you guys were doing. So them
Yeah, no
shits were
doubt.
fucking dope as fuck. Like whatever one you dropped that week or whatever, I would go to
Yeah.
school acting like that.
Yeah,
You know
me
what I
too,
mean?
bro. Straight up.
Yeah,
Just like remember back in the day, everyone was saying "suck it" and "give me a hell yeah." And
yeah,
I was
yeah,
doing
yeah.
that with the Shaggy shows, and then I would make my own videos. And
Dang,
as I
dog.
was rewatching them, I would fucking catch myself like, man, I'm just fucking copying the shit out of Shags on this one. Look at my voice. Look what I'm trying to say and whatever.
The
But it was
mask and
Man,
dope
shit.
though. It was cool.
that's awesome, man. But the one thing that like the one thing that about the old school Shaggy shows that every time, like there's one in particular that's really bad. And so if you're talking about you were trying to talk like them back, you probably had a real fucking problem, like I did back in the day, just out of ignorance though, using you can't even say it nowadays, the F word, you know what I'm saying, for homosexual.
Oh
You
yeah.
know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah,
Yeah.
Because man, them boys were popping and cracking off like 4th of July in a couple of them episodes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I watched that shit. And I was like, oh my god, god damn! Like picture that coming out with that now.
Fuck no.
You know?
But
But
that was a word. That was a word that was used strongly in the '90s.
yeah,
And then
it
later
wasn't
on
even
to 2000s, that was the diss.
and
You know?
right. Those of us that weren't homosexual, we didn't understand how hurtful it was, obviously, because
Yep.
I mean, I was just always taught as coming up that was so horrible and so bad, but that's not what kids are taught. Like my kids now, they don't even bad an eye. They don't even understand that that's something different or weird. You know what I'm saying? But
Yep.
but when we were coming up, you know what I'm saying? That was this, especially if you were a man and you got called that was just demasculating. You punch somebody in the fucking face. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Oh
And,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
mean, you still do because it's just a bad word, but yeah, that was just dropped. Oh, especially on like this one episode. It's so horrible. And man, anybody out there that may be listening to this that watches that old shit, just please know all that shit back then was was what do you call that? Sign of its times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
new school
definitely.
shit don't be saying that. You know what I'm saying? That it was out of ignorance. We didn't know back then. You know what I'm saying? But
I mean, even in
that
like
goes bullshit.
old school Easy E, Ice Cube tracks,
No
they use
doubt,
that shit
yeah.
all kinds.
Well,
You know.
that's why like I don't think rap can be canceled. You know what I'm saying? Unless it happens now, like old school rap can't be canceled because you know what I'm saying. That's just how the fuck the culture was back then. You know?
As a matter of fact, I think it was like last week I was spitting some, like I was driving and I was spitting some Ice Cube, and it led to that word, and I was thinking about what you just said right now. Like, damn, that shit would
Mhm.
go down right now. Shit's different. It's that time.
Exactly.
So
Now,
that's
if I said
crazy.
that on a record we came out with now, and it wasn't like some kind of political meeting or something, if I just dropped it just to say it and be an asshole, I mean, with my career right now and ICP's career right now, we could probably get away with it, and they just say it's some kind of art in the lyric or something. But like somebody, a younger group or something that came out with and said that shit in any kind of hurtful way, they'd be canceled with the quickness. There's no question. You know what I'm
You
saying?
know.
'Cause it's just uncalled for. You don't
Uh,
need to do that shit no more. You know, there's different words you can use now. You know,
Yeah, you don't want to fuck
Well, I
with them
mean,
college kids and shit. They'll cancel your ass, man. You know what I mean?
quick,
Fuck
quick.
they're
that.
like he said Mexican. That's racist. Like,
Yeah.
what the
Yeah,
fuck
right.
do I call
Yeah.
myself then? Like, what the fuck the hell's going on with
Says
this
right on the
shit?
sheet at the fucking doctors. What do you want from me? You gonna
Right?
fuck with the doctors too? Jesus.
No, but them the Shaggy shows, they were dope, and they definitely like it was something that I was glued to. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it definitely like built something in me, like where it built personality and character.
Oh,
I
definitely.
want to
You know
let you
that
know that, man.
that's like very flattering and humbling to hear at the same time because when I was doing those, I had no idea that you know that people were watching that and it was helping form the way their style, you know, and the way they acted and
Yep.
shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's just crazy to hear that so many years later. Because like I said, when I was doing that, I had no idea I was having that kind of effect. Our weird is out there wilding. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that's very humbling. Thank you for the compliment. You know.
Oh hell yeah! And I
That what
mean,
brings me to the question, right quick, Shag. I got a question. I know a lot of people might not have ever got a chance to ask you this question, but since you've been down in the rap game so long, Dan, when you first got into it, who like motivated you? Like which rappers in like genre of music were you listening to that you looked up to that you tried to eliminate, immaculate? You know what I'm saying?
You know, it's very weird because we see in a lot of videos, a lot of interviews that you know our big influences were like NWA and Ghetto Boys, and that's 100% true. It is, you know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
that's not what influenced me personally. That's not what influenced me as far as rap goes. That's what influenced my style when we first started, no question. You know what I'm saying? Because
Uh-huh.
I started listening to rap at a very, very, very early age. You know, me and Manny were talking about a matter of fact, and I was kind of shocking myself. I'm like, holy fuck! I self-taught myself how to like cut and DJ at like 10 years old. You know, and
Yeah.
on my stereo system by unhooking a speaker and using the balance knob, you know what I'm saying, for a fader.
Holy
So
shit.
you know, say it's just crazy when you think about that. When I look at my kids, what they're doing at 10, you know, just being kids, you know what I'm saying, and it's nuts. But so like you know, I was listening to rap at such a young age that you know I was into like Grandmaster Flash and Melly Mel and all that shit, and fucking Captain Rock and Run DMC and fucking Egyptian Lover and Houdini, Curtis Blow, all those old school dudes from like the early '80s, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I
Uh-huh.
was buying those records as a youngster in the mid '80s. You know what I'm saying? And all that
Yeah.
shit is what turned me on to rap and what made me initially want to DJ. I didn't even want to be a rapper when I first was into rap. I wanted to DJ. That was my first love was DJing. You know what I'm saying? Everything about it. And of course, you know, my first fucking mixer I ever got, I stole from Radio Shack. You know what I'm
Oh
saying? A little
shit.
fucking realistic mixer. You know, and but just like the whole culture of rap to me is what influenced me. You know what I'm saying? To rap. You know, but as far as like lyrics and shit, especially when ICP when we got into the studio, professional studio. You know what I'm saying? Then no question, it was gangster rap. It was horror rap. You know, like the Ghetto Boys and shit like that. And early NWA, you know what I'm saying, of course. And you know, it was a lot heavy on that shit, you know. But I loved all the New York shit, all that. But our lyrics were very heavily influenced by gangster shit and all that, no question, you know.
One of the main things that made me fall in love with your music was the creativity in the lyrics, because it
Yeah,
wasn't just your basic where you could pop in this CD and pop in that disc or whatever the fuck, that tape, and they all kind of say the same shit in just different ways. With
yeah,
with with ICP, it was like, what the fuck? These guys are coming up with all this funny shit. These guys are coming up with all this new shit, like rhyming it in a different way, putting words together in certain ways. Was that something that was in thought as you wrote, or is this just shit that comes out of your head where you're like, man, fuck, that'd be funny, or something like that, you
that's
know?
just the shit. That's you know the best way we can describe that shit to people is like when people that dig ICP and shit and our lyrics and all that shit and how we do shit with our songs, the humor and the way we pepper it in with like this and that, with what you know what I'm saying, with you know, messages and end of the world shit and funny and bitches and all that shit, you know. It's as far as we could tell, it's like that's just us kicking it. That's just the way we talk. That's just what we do. It's like that's just us. If we get together and make a record, you know, of course we're gonna make a song about bitches because that's what we talk about a lot, bitches. You know what I'm saying? Of course we're gonna make a song about this. That's what the fuck we talk about this. But then we're gonna get serious and talk about this, you know. And so we always figure people that's the key that we think why people like us because just like kicking it with your homie, you know what I'm saying? It's you're not sitting back and watching some dude in your mind drive by in a flashy car and be cool as fuck with all the bitches. Nah, you're rolling with us. You know what I'm saying? Because you're juggalos with us. Because we're juggalos. We're all rolling together. We live in the same neighborhood as you. You know what I'm saying? We're with you.
Yeah.
We're not like fucking above you trying to floss on you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like when you're listening to our shit or you're watching our shit, it's like you're sitting there kicking it with us. And when you're sitting there kicking it with your homies, you don't talk about this one thing. You fuck around. You talk about a whole gambit of shit. You know?
Well, actually, I was gonna say that
Hell yeah.
too. I was gonna say that I think like that's why juggalos gravitate to ICP because we are ICP. You know what I mean? That's how I felt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Exactly, dog. Because juggalos are juggalos. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Juggalos aren't a star and a fan. Juggalos
Right.
are a juggalo. That's it.
Yeah,
You know?
and like even like the more we like start learning about you guys or we were a lot like you. We grew up a lot like you, like with the wrestling. You know what I mean? The pop and all that shit. The rap,
No doubt,
the
dog. I
rock.
mean, I think that's also why because a lot of people because like we grew up in a certain class, and most people that buy our records are out of that class. You know what I'm saying? Like the
Yeah,
lower fucking blue collar boys. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
it's like that's what the fuck we all did. We all watched wrestling. That was a cheap thing to do. You know what I'm saying? We kick it about bitches because it don't cost nothing to kick it to bitches. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's just
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? We all sung that same song. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Hell yeah.
And it don't matter what state we lived in, what neighborhood we lived in, what city we lived in. You know what I'm saying? We all fucking sung that same fucking song. You know?
All right, homies and juggalos, that was part one. Make sure to stay tuned next week for part two on this one. Show some love to Shag, show some love to the podcast. You know what I mean? Manny, anything you got to say?
Oh man, it was an honor, man. Like I says, man, that's my homeboy. But I was glad that he was available. He freed up some time for us. You know what I'm saying? Answered some crazy questions, and it ain't over, brother. It ain't over. We got a whole nother show. They got to tune in next week to finish the rest of it. You know what I'm saying? And we appreciate that, man. But like he said, man, support the Palcast. You know what I'm saying? Definitely check him out on Twitch. He's always on Twitch on Sunday nights, and then sometimes even on Friday nights, he does it with his son, Lucha Ronin,
All right.
and definitely hit his Instagram, man. Because like I said, I'll be rolling with him sometimes when he cuts that Instagram shit. And it's funny, man. It's just how he comes off of it with the top of his head, brother. But it's been a great week, and I'm about to check out this fight tonight, brother.
Oh, that's right.
So it's been a great day for me. I'm gonna watch this UFC heavyweight fight that's about to happen tonight, and then. You guys have a great week, man. I appreciate it.
No, hell yeah. I don't know how I did it, but I was holding the like my inner fan bitch in. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how the fuck. Holy fuck! But for sure, check us out next week. Give a thumbs up if you know what's up, and give a thumbs down if you're down. Peace.
Punk hitters are shit!